Hey future doctors, quick pit stop before we sprint through disaster management. If this helps your revision, subscribe, like, and comment your next community medicine topic. Share this with that batchmate who mixes up hazard and risk. Ready? 5 minutes, crisp and exam ready. A disaster is a disruption so big it overwhelms local capacity. A hazard is the potentially damaging event, earthquake, gas leak, virus. Vulnerability are factors that make people likely to be harmed, unsafe housing, poverty, age. Capacity is the strengths and resources, trained teams, funds, early warning, community groups. Risk is the probability of harm from the interaction of hazard and vulnerability buffered by capacity. One line, one example, full marks. Disasters are classified as natural or man-made. Natural disasters include geophysical events like earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, and landslides. Hydrological events cover floods and avalanches. Meteorological or climatological disasters involve cyclones, storms, heat or cold waves, droughts, and forest fires. Biological disasters are epidemics and pandemics. Man-made or technological disasters include industrial or chemical spills and gas leaks, like the Bhopal tragedy. Nuclear or radiological plant accidents are also man-made. Accidents such as transport incidents, structural collapses, fires, and stampedes fall into this category. Intentional acts like bioterrorism, chemical terrorism, and conflict are also man-made disasters. Let's explore the disaster management cycle. Mitigation reduces impact through seismic codes, safe land use, watershed management, and routine immunization. Preparedness builds readiness with hazard maps, drills, stockpiles, trained rapid response teams, and hospital disaster action plans. Response is immediate. Activate emergency operations centers, conduct search and rescue, provide first aid, and perform rapid needs assessments. This phase also includes triage, field stabilization, safe transport, and urgent public health measures like surveillance and WASH. Recovery involves rehabilitation to restore essential services and reconstruction to build back better with integrated mitigation. Now, let's consider epidemiology and health impacts, thinking about the triad. The agent can be a physical force, chemical toxin, or microbe. The host refers to factors like age, nutrition, illness, poverty, and risk-taking behaviors. The environment includes displacement, crowding, unsafe water, damaged health facilities, and vector breeding grounds. Immediate impacts include deaths, polytrauma, crush injuries, drowning, burns, and asphyxia. Delayed impacts involve outbreaks of diarrheal diseases, cholera, typhoid, hepatitis A and E, malaria, dengue, measles, and acute respiratory infections. Non-communicable disease exacerbations from treatment breaks, malnutrition in children and pregnant women, and mental health issues like acute stress, anxiety, depression, and PTSD are also significant. Let's focus on the public health response, what saves lives fast. Triage, using the START method, categorize patients. Red is for immediate, like airway compromise or massive bleed, treat now. Yellow is for delayed, serious but can wait. Green is for minor, the walking wounded. Black is for expectant diseased. The goal is the greatest good for the greatest number. Rapid needs assessment within the first 24 to 48 hours identifies affected population, priority health needs, and status of water, sanitation, shelter, health facilities, supplies, and staff. Surveillance and control involves setting up syndromic surveillance in camps for acute watery diarrhea, fever with rash, and ILI SARI. This triggers early response, isolation, immunization where needed, and vector control. WASH ensures safe water, around 15 liters per person per day, with chlorination or point-of-use disinfection and accessible hand washing. Emergency excreta disposal requires about 1 latrine per 20 people, with safe siting and lighting for women and children. Vector control includes source reduction, larviciding, space spraying for outbreaks, and distributing insecticide-treated nets. Nutrition focuses on rapid screening with MUAC, safe mass feeding, and supplementary feeding for children, pregnant and lactating women. Mental health and psychosocial support involve psychological first aid, safe spaces, and referral pathways integrated with routine services. Dead body management requires respectful identification, documentation, and culturally appropriate disposal. Remember, focus public health energy on the living. Corpses of disaster victims rarely start epidemics. Let's apply this with 2 quick vignettes. Vignette 1, Cyclone Camp. The schools house 5,000 displaced persons, water intermittent. Action: camp management with WASH First, chlorinated tanker supply to meet approximately 15 liters per person per day, temporary latrines at 1 to 20, segregated safe areas. Start syndromic surveillance and measles vaccination if coverage uncertain, vector control near stagnant water. Triage area at PHC with red, yellow, green, black flow, ensure insulin and antihypertensives for NCD continuity. Pause and recall, what single intervention averts the most post-disaster deaths? Safe water. Vignette 2, Industrial gas leak. Incident command, hot, warm, cold zones, evacuate crosswind. Decontamination before medical area, red for airway or breathing compromise, antidotes if specific, PPE for teams. Hospitals switch to HAP surge mode and keep contaminated casualties out of the ED until decon. Let's look at India's disaster framework. The Disaster Management Act 2005 established a 3-tier system. NDMA, chaired by the Prime Minister, sets policies, plans, and guidelines. SDMA, chaired by the Chief Minister, handles state implementation. DDMA, chaired by the District Collector Magistrate, is responsible for district planning and execution. The specialized responder is the NDRF, with multi-skilled battalions for floods, collapsed structures, and CBRN incidents. The Health Nodal Division is emergency medical relief under MOHFW. Major hospitals maintain and drill hospital disaster action plans for surge and mass casualty incidents. Time for some self-check cues. Pause and recall, hazard versus vulnerability with 1 example each. Think, why do measles and RE flare in camps, and what early actions blunt them? Here are the key take-home points. Risk equals hazard multiplied by vulnerability, divided by capacity, reduce risk by cutting vulnerability and boosting capacity. The disaster management cycle includes mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery. Write 1 example for each. In the first 48 hours, WASH, surveillance, and triage save the most lives. Start triage and HAP surge are your operational anchors. Quote the DAME Act 2005, roles of NDMA, SDMA, DDMA, and NDRF in the exam. You've got this. Review once more, visualize the vignettes, and you're exam ready.